Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the feature race at beautiful Belmont Park on Sunday. Race number 9, the $100,000 Mike Lee for New York bred 3-year-olds going 7 furlongs. Before we get to the analysis, let me remind you to please try out those new DRF mobile pass performances. Get classic PPs with mobile interactive access on your device. You can access and download full card PPs in seconds. Fast, plus the exclusive lifetime buyer speed figure graph. Learn more, drf.com/MPPS. Here's the field for the $100,000 Mike Lee Stakes. Dream Bigger, the number 4, 2-1 on the morning line. He's arguably the boss of the 3-year-old division of New York breds right now. He's got plenty of early speed. We've got 2 from Chad Brown, the 1 Mission Wrap It Up, the 3 Gandy Dancing, Captain Bombastic, back from Oaklawn after facing tough open competition. This is a real war of a race.
Really good field here for the newly turned 3-year-olds. And listen, they have the right 2 favorites there, I think, on the morning line there. They're both going to take some beating in here, but I thought there was something to recommend about all 8 of these horses.
And I think Timeform US has the right pace projector because Dream Bigger's game is speed. And Timeform US has the number 4 Dream Bigger out there on the early lead. We expect maybe Gandy Dancing, 3 Jokers to be up close to the pace. But Dream Bigger's the horse to catch. And in some ways, Mike, the horse to beat.
Yeah, I think he probably is the horse to beat here. It is pretty close, I thought, between he and Captain Bombastic. But I'll call him the horse to beat here. And he does have speed, but so do some others.
Mission Wrap It Up, the number 1, looks like a private purchase now in the care of Chad Brown. Under Bruce Brown's tutelage, this horse won last time out, multiple stakes placed in his career. Let's watch Mission Wrap It Up's performance, dangled for an $80,000 tag that day, winning at 6 furlongs. And Mission Wrap It Up had some work to do in the stretch, Mike, and he looks pretty good reeling in this tired pace setter.
He does. He runs down a horse that I'm not a big fan of, Power Up Painter. Mission Wrap It Up's able to easily corral him late and pull clear. If nothing else, then I was just happy to see him win another race because, this is a horse that in his 2-year-old debut last May, I was really taken with his performance. I thought he was really good in there. And then for whatever reason, he just sort of struggled a little bit after that. It was nice to see him get back to the winner's circle last time.
City Man, the number 2, gave some really solid efforts last year as a juvenile. Won the funny side at Saratoga, came real close in the Bonguard. Might have found that mile in the Sleepy Hollow a little bit far for him. And then they tried turf last time out against open competition. This colt's got some good tactical speed. I like him at 7 furlongs. It's just whether he's going to be ready to fire off a 6-month benching.
Yeah, and it's not like he comes back in an easy spot here either. But you know what? He ran well in each of the first 3 starts of his career. Buyer speed figure up to a 76 in September. And then after that, a mile on the dirt, a turf race. He's back as a new 3-year-old here. He could take a big step forward in here. And if he does, he's very tough.
Gandy Dancing, the number 3, an expensive son of Flatter, made a really nice impression in his career debut. Let's watch that 6 furlong event back at Aqueduct on the Ides of March. And Gandy Dancing, the number 4 on the outside, is full of run right now on his left lead, but he just draws away once he changes. A really striking performance. 73 buyer is something he can build on.
Yeah, he surely can. I loved this debut from him. This was sort of a fast and contested pace that he kept close to, took it over whenever he was ready, and he just aired on this field. A really nice debut for a horse who has a big pedigree. Obviously, you feel like with Chad and these connections, ideally out of that race, they would have had another start on the way into the Mike Lee, and with the racing, put on at a standstill there, they didn't get to do that. So he's stepping into a tough spot here. But this horse has a ton of upside.
Later that same day at Aqueduct, Dream Bigger notched his 3rd stakes victory by going gate to wire as the chalk in the Damon Runyon. Let's watch that race. Dream Bigger went quick early, put away his other pace foes, and he kept right on going. And he pours it on in the stretch to win by 8 with an 81 buyer speed figure. You give a horse like Dream Bigger the lead and an easy one, he's dangerous. He's on his left lead most of the way here in the stretch, but this has just been a solid horse since day one.
Yeah, he's really run nothing but good races. I say that realizing that this is a horse who's run 7 times. He's only won 3 of them, and he's been favored every single time, including his debut over Tiz the Law. But he's just run well enough to be really tough in here, Dan. As we like to say, I know that he can be had. He's been had in the past, and it could happen again here. But he's the horse to beat.
Bourbon Bay is up next. We saw him finishing second to Dream Bigger in that race. Bourbon Bay looked good sprinting in his second lifetime start, then ran second to the then highly regarded Independence Hall in the Open Jerome Stakes. A bit of a disappointment, I thought, in the Gander 2 starts back, going a mile. And last time out, we saw him in the Damon Runyon. Are you concerned that he hasn't gotten much faster since his 2-year-old debut?
I'm a little concerned about that. I'm more concerned just that he's not a great gate horse, and just about every one of his starts, he is last away from the gate. I think that's a real problem for this horse. I do think he has some talent, though, and there's a chance he takes a step forward in here.
Captain Bombastic is next. This horse, a stakes winner as a 2-year-old against New York breds. Jeremiah Engelhardt sent him down to Oaklawn Park to face Open Company twice, and he faced some tough ones. Let's go back to his most recent start, a 2-turn mile. Can't argue about this trip. He set a rated pace down towards the inside. It took him a long time to put away his pace presser, a big long shot, and then he was no match for a nice 3-year-old Pneumatic, who came back to finish third to Maxfield in the Matt win with a 94 Buyer's speed figure. Good effort for Captain Bombastic. I like him cutting back in distance.
I did too. I like him cutting back. I liked all 3 of his starts in New York last year. I thought he ran well in all of those races. I even felt like he ran okay in those 2 Oaklawn starts. Dan, I'm not sure that going 2 turns against Open Company is what this horse really wants to do. He's actually getting class relief here. He's cutting back in distance. He just makes a lot of sense in this race.
20-1 on the morning line for the 7. Listen to Your Heart, a horse adding Lasix for the first time, but also one returning from a lengthy layoff. We haven't seen this horse since the end of September when he chased Dream Bigger in vain. I'd like to see this horse be aggressively ridden by Junior Alvarado, try to get up close to Dream Bigger in the early portion of this race. That being said, the 7 might be pushing it a bit.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, he does have speed, though. He doesn't have, some of the speed figures that some of the other horses do, but this horse was a pretty good 2-year-old, Dan. He gets Lasix off the layoff here. I'm with you. I'd like him more if this were 6 and not 7.
3 Jokers is up next, another horse coming off a bit of a layoff. We haven't seen him since the Sleepy Hollow in October when he was beaten by Captain Bombastic, but he was going a mile that day. Maybe that's a little bit far for this horse. He should be forwardly placed. In Dave Grenning's race advance, he mentioned that this horse came down with a little bit of an illness after that race, cost him some time, but when he's right, he ran a pretty big fig at this distance 2 starts back.
Yeah, he did. He ran well in the Vanguard, just his second career start in there. After he ran to the early lead, took pressure up there all the way. I thought he finished a good second in that race. This horse took a lot of money in his debut at Saratoga. There are things to like about this horse. He's got forward to go.
Well, let's take a look at our top picks for Sunday's feature race at Belmont, the $100,000 Mike Lee Stakes. We're going to take a chance against the morning line favorite Dream Bigger in here. Captain Bombastic down in distance, back in with New York breds. I'm expecting him to be running late.
Yeah, I think he's going to show up here with a good performance. I think he's tough if he does. I put him on top. I'll be honest, Dan, I thought long and hard about picking Gandy Dancing, and I wound up putting him second.
We have the same triple, just in slightly different order. Mike goes 6-3-4-7. I go 6-4-3-5. It's the Mike Lee. It is the Sunday feature race at beautiful Belmont Park. An approximate post time for race number 9 is 5:36 Eastern. Good luck.